My dad loved to tinker in his garage, fixing things that once might have been thought to be useless. He enjoyed the art of finding more efficient ways to perform difficult tasks, and he loved organizing his tools, hardware, nails, screws, and bolts, most of which he kept in lidless mason jars. One day he brought me into his garage to see a wooden bunny he had created on his jigsaw. He replicated it after one he had purchased from a local craft fair. He had sanded the wood and painted it just like the bunny from the fair, and had coated it with varnish to make it shine. Being young, I didn't realize the importance of what was about to transpire over the next few minutes. Dad showed me how he was able to carefully cut the bunny from a plain piece of wood, and how he had attempted to match the professionally crafted bunny perfectly. He explained the method he used to paint the bunny, and how he had even included a ribbon for its neck, just like the original. He was so proud of his work. I didn't realize he had found a new talent and would likely craft many more bunnies for the family. "Which of the two bunnies would you like to have?" he asked me, smiling. To this day, I regret my response. I answered the way a child would, yet I find little solace in this fact. "I'll take the original bunny." The original was perfect. The paint was done with exact precision, the ribbon was bright, and the bunny's face was very realistic. Dad's is great, just not quite as perfect. I want the perfect one, I remember thinking. Dad handed me the original bunny, smiling. "Here you go, honey," he said without the slightest hint of remorse. But he never made another wooden bunny. Looking back, I think my actions took the wind out of his sails. Years later, after my father had died and I had matured quite a bit, I found the original bunny in a box. In that moment, I realized that I would give anything to have the bunny my dad had crafted that day in our garage. The original bunny just looked cold and sterile with no character, no life, no twisted ribbon or glamorous paint job. I searched for my dad's bunny, but never found it. Even today, the original sterile bunny sits on my dresser, not because I like it, but as a reminder to love what those around me make and do for me, even in their imperfections. I've learned that it's the imperfections that make those things perfect. The morning after my father passed, my mom sent my husband Keith and me to the funeral home with specific instructions. Give the funeral home director Dad's favorite blue shirt and his beautiful dress shoes, but in the coffin, have them put his favorite and most comfortable slippers, she said as she gently handed them to me. I thought, perhaps, since Dad had died of cancer, his feet may have been swollen and his shoes might not fit properly, but I was curious as to the actual reason she wanted him to have both. When I presented the clothes and 2 pairs of shoes to the funeral director, he was not at all surprised. He nodded and said there would be no problem. When I returned home, I asked Mom why she had sent 2 pairs of shoes for our father. Whenever something unexplainable would happen, or an unpleasant event would occur, like when a child would become ill, my mom would always say, "Put comfortable shoes in my coffin." I always wondered what she meant. On this day, she explained. She had always believed when you die, you walk the last mile with your Maker and discuss with him the times you separated yourself from him. She believed you were accountable for those times, and in that last mile you were also shown the light and understanding of events from your past. Mom believed you could talk to God and ask him about events in your life, why people died, and even why sometimes it appeared as if we were abandoned by God. She knew it was then that you would gain a deeper understanding of God's plan. In her mind, she expected that my father may have to walk the last mile, and she wanted him to have the most comfortable shoes for his journey into paradise. Mom has many questions for God and believes her walk will be long as a result. She has asked her children to place comfortable shoes in her coffin one day, and by doing so, we will be guaranteeing her a comfortable walk on her inquisitive and anticipated last mile. Sometimes things may not make sense to us now, but in God's time, she knows they will. So to my children, in the hopefully very far future, please put comfortable shoes in my coffin too.